Welcome to English on this day. I am so delighted you're here today. Let me ask you several simple questions. Do you understand English but feel nervous when speaking? Do you forget words right when you need them? Do conversations feel challenging even after studying for a long time? If yes, you're not alone. Many learners have this exact problem. I had the same problem before. I studied hard each and every day. I practiced speaking as much as possible. I thought speaking practice was the answer, but nothing felt natural. Then I discovered something significant. Listening was the missing piece. When I began listening more, everything changed. I began to understand English more easily. I began speaking more naturally. I felt much more confident in conversations. In this video, I will share my mistakes with you. I will give you simple tips and simple daily habits. By the end, you will know exactly how to improve your English every single day. If you find this assistful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really assists the channel grow and reach more learners like you. Now, let's begin. Lesson 1. My largest mistake when learning English. I wanted results quick. I thought I could speak English well in just several months. So, I pushed myself very hard every single day. I believed speaking practice alone was enough. I talked as much as possible. I repeated sentences out loud over and over. I thought this was all I needed. I spent plenty of time trying to speak perfectly. Before every sentence, I checked every word in my head. I was afraid to say something wrong. This made conversations feel gradual and stressful. I also memorized long vocabulary lists each and every day. I wrote down word after word in my notebook. I tested myself again and again. It felt productive, but something wasn't working. I studied grammar rules for many hours. 2. I read textbooks and did exercise after exercise. I wanted to know every rule perfectly, but knowing rules didn't make speaking easier. I worried too much about mistakes. Every time I said something wrong, I felt embarrassed. I tried to build perfect sentences before I opened my mouth, but the words never came quick enough. During real conversations, I felt very nervous. My mind went blank at the wrong moments. I struggled to remember words I had studied before. The pressure made everything harder. Real English was also very challenging to understand. When native speakers talked, everything sounded too quick. I missed significant words constantly. I couldn't follow the conversation properly. I felt disappointed. I was studying so hard, but not improving enough. I began comparing my progress to other learners. Some of them seemed to get improved much quicker than me. That made me feel even worse. I began looking for a quicker way to improve. Something was clearly missing from my routine. Then I realized the problem. My listening practice was far too limited. I was spending almost no time just listening to natural English. I finally understood the connection between listening and speaking. You can't speak well what you have never heard enough. So, I made a change. I began listening more every single day. At first, the improvements were little, but gradually, I began understanding more. Common English patterns began to feel familiar. I recognized words more quickly than before. Conversations became more comfortable. I felt less nervous when I spoke. My confidence grew steadily over time. That experience taught me a significant lesson. Clears throat. Listening isn't extra practice, it's the foundation of everything. Adding more listening changed my progress completely. Lesson 2. Why listening comes before speaking. Think about a baby learning to speak. A baby doesn't study grammar books. A baby doesn't memorize vocabulary lists. A baby just listens each and every day. A baby hears words from its parents. It hears sentences, questions, and simple conversations. It listens for many months before saying anything. Sometimes a whole year passes with no speaking. Then one day, the baby begins to talk. Its first words sound natural. Its sentences grow longer over time. Nobody teaches the baby grammar rules. It just absorbed the language through listening. Speaking comes much later than listening. This isn't a mistake. This is how language learning is supposed to work. The baby speaks only after its brain is ready, and the brain gets ready by listening a lot. This same process works for adults, too. When you listen a lot, your brain gets busy. It notices patterns in the language. It begins to recognize how words fit together. It stores these patterns without you even trying. Listening creates language patterns in your mind. Your brain hears the same structures again and again. Soon, those patterns feel normal and familiar. When you speak later, words come out more naturally. You don't have to think so hard every time. Listening also teaches sentence structure naturally. You hear how English sentences are built. You notice where the verb goes. You notice how questions are formed. You don't need to memorize rules. Your brain figures it out on its own. Listening teaches you common expressions, too. These are short phrases that native speakers use each and every day. Things like by the way or you know. You can't find all of these in a textbook, but you hear them often in real conversations. Over time, they become part of your natural speech. Pronunciation also improves through listening. You hear how sounds are made correctly. You notice which sounds are powerful and which are soft. Your ears learn before your mouth does. This is why people who listen a lot sound more natural. Listening teaches rhythm and stress, too. English has a very music to it. Some words are said louder and some are quieter. Some sentences speed up and some gradual down. You can only learn this by hearing it many times. No grammar book can teach you the rhythm of a language. Many learners rush into speaking too soon. They feel embarrassed if they stay quiet. They think silence means they are not learning. But this is wrong. Quiet listening time is very valuable. Your brain needs time to collect and organize the language. Don't skip this step. Listening also prepares you for real conversations. When you have heard many conversations, they feel less scary. You already know many of the words and expressions. You have heard the rhythm and the natural flow. So, when it's your turn to speak, you feel more ready. You're not beginning from zero. You already have a full library of English inside your head. So, before you worry about speaking, listen more. It's not wasted time, it's the most significant step of all. Lesson 3. What happens inside your brain when you listen? Your brain is always working when you listen. Even when you feel confused, something is happening. Your brain is quietly collecting information. It's doing more than you think. The first thing your brain learns is sounds. Before you understand words, you hear sounds. English has sounds that don't exist in your language. Your brain needs time to notice them. It needs time to separate one sound from another. This step is truly essential. Without it, words all sound the same. After some time, your brain begins to recognize words. At first, only several words feel familiar. Then more and more words become clear. You don't have to try hard. Your brain picks them up by hearing them often. The more you listen, the easier this becomes. Then something interesting happens with phrases. You begin to recognize whole groups of words together. You don't think about each word separately. Your brain hears, "How are you?" and understands it instantly. These phrases become automatic. This makes listening and speaking much quicker. Repetition is very powerful for the brain. Every time you hear the same word or phrase, it gets powerfuler in your memory. Think of it like a path through the grass. The first time, the path is hard to see. But if you walk the same path each and every day, it becomes clear. Listening works the same way. Hearing things many times makes them stick. Listening also assists your understanding grow in a natural way. You don't sit down and study rules. You simply hear the language in context. Your brain connects words to meaning on its own. One day, you notice you understood a full sentence. Then a short conversation. Then a whole story. It happens step by step without force. Hearing the same patterns many times is very useful. English uses certain structures over and over. For example, I want to, I need to, can you please? When your brain hears these again and again, they feel normal. Later, when you speak, those patterns come out automatically. You don't stop to think about grammar. The words just flow. At the beginning, progress can feel very gradual. You listen for weeks and feel like nothing is changing. This is completely normal. Your brain is working quietly in the background. It's building something powerful, just not visible yet. Don't stop during this time. Keep listening each and every day. Then one day, something clicks. You understand more than before. Words arrive quicker. Sentences feel familiar. The little daily improvements have been adding up all along. They were always there, just too little to notice. This is how the brain learns language, gradually at first, then all at once. Trust the process and keep listening. Lesson 4. How listening improves pronunciation. In the past, my pronunciation wasn't great. I read words from a book and guessed how to say them. Sometimes I was completely wrong. I said words in a way that nobody understood. It felt embarrassing and frustrating. I didn't know how to fix it. Then I began listening to real English, not textbook recordings, real conversations, videos, and podcasts. I heard how native speakers actually talk. It was very different from what I had learned. But gradually, my ears began to notice things. I began copying sounds from native speakers. I listened to a short sentence. Then I tried to say it the same way. I didn't focus on spelling. I focused only on the sound. This was much more assistful than reading rules. My mouth began to learn new positions. One thing I noticed was word stress. In English, one part of a word is always powerfuler. For example, photo, not photo, or significant, not important. If you stress the wrong part, people feel confused. But I never learned this from a grammar book. I learned it by listening carefully and repeating. Sentence stress was another large discovery. In a sentence, some words are louder and some are softer. Native speakers don't say every word with equal weight. For example, I want to go home. The significant words stand out. The little words become softer and quicker. This gives English its natural rhythm. I only understood this after listening to many real conversations. Connected speech was the most surprising thing. In natural English, words blend together. Want to sounds like wanna. Going to sounds like gonna. Did you sounds like didya. These aren't mistakes. This is how fluent English actually sounds. If you only study written English, you never hear this. But after listening a lot, these sounds become familiar. The best way to improve is to listen and then repeat. Choose a short sentence from a video or podcast. Listen 2 or 3 times. Then say it out loud and to copy the sound. Don't worry about being perfect. Just match the rhythm and stress as best you can. Do this each and every day and your mouth will gradually improve. Pronunciation can get improved without memorizing any rules. You don't need to study the phonetic alphabet. You just need your ears and your voice. Listen, notice, copy, and repeat. That's all. For example, I used to say comfortable with 4 syllables. Then I heard native speakers say comfortable. I was surprised, but after copying that sound many times, it felt natural. Now I say it correctly without thinking. This happens with many words over time. Your ears teach your mouth and your mouth gets improved every single day. Lesson 5. The power of listening to simple English. Many learners make the same choice when they begin. They pick challenging content to listen to. They watch quick movies without subtitles. They listen to native podcasts full of complex words. They think harder content means quicker learning. This feels like a serious and motivated way to study, but it often does the opposite. When content is too challenging, your brain gets stuck. You hear words but can't understand them. You can't follow the conversation. Your brain works so hard just to catch sounds that it can't learn anything. After a while, you feel tired and discouraged. You begin to feel like English is impossible. Challenging content can actually gradual your progress down. Simple content works in a completely different way. When you understand most of what you hear, your brain relaxes. It stops struggling and begins absorbing. It can focus on little details like rhythm, tone, and expression. This is when real learning happens. The goal is to understand around 90 to 95% of what you hear. This is called comprehensible input. It means the content is a bit challenging, but mostly clear. You're not bored because there are still new things to notice. But you're not lost because most of it makes sense. This is the sweet spot for language learning. Simple listening materials also build your confidence. When you understand what people are saying, you feel great. You feel capable and motivated. You want to keep going. This feeling is truly essential. Confidence pushes you to listen more. And the more you listen, the quicker you improve. Another benefit of simple content is learning from context. When you understand most of a sentence, you can guess unknown words. For example, if you hear, she was very tired, so she went to sleep early, and you don't know the word tired, you can still understand it from the rest. Simple content gives your brain enough context to figure out new words naturally. You don't need to stop and look up every word in a dictionary. Simple English also gives you repeated exposure to useful vocabulary. The most common words in English appear again and again in simple content. Words like because, however, maybe, and actually. Hearing them many times in simple sentences makes them stick in your memory. You begin to use them naturally without thinking. There are many great resources for simple listening. Podcasts made for English learners are a marvelous beginning point. Shows like English Learning for Curious Minds or 6-Minute English use clear and simple language. Audiobooks written for children or beginners are also very assistful. YouTube channels that speak gradually and use everyday topics work well, too. Even listening to English songs with simple lyrics can be useful. The key is to find something you enjoy and can mostly understand. Simple English creates quicker improvement in a surprising way because you understand more. You listen longer. Because you listen longer, your brain gets more input. More input means more patterns, more vocabulary, and more confidence. It builds on itself like a snowball rolling downhill. Begin simple and stay consistent. You don't need to push yourself with hard content to prove you're serious. The easiest path is often the smartest one. Choose content that feels comfortable. Enjoy the process and watch your English grow day by day. Lesson 6. My daily listening routine. When I first began, I didn't listen for very long. I began with just 10 minutes a day. That felt simple and manageable. I didn't want to burn out in the first week. Little steps felt safer and more sustainable. So, I kept each session short at the beginning. My morning listening habit became one of my favorites. Every morning, right after waking up, I put on my earphones. I played a short English podcast or a simple audio lesson. I did this while getting ready for the day, brushing my teeth, washing my face, making coffee. English was playing the whole time. It was a relaxed way to begin. My brain was fresh in the morning and absorbed things easily. I also began listening while walking. Whenever I went outside, I brought my earphones. A short walk to the store became a listening session. 10 minutes of walking became 10 minutes of English input. I wasn't wasting any time. I was turning daily moments into learning opportunities. This felt great because I wasn't sitting at a desk. I was just living my life and learning at the same time. Little breaks during the day became useful, too. While waiting for food to cook, I listened to several minutes of English. While waiting for a friend, I put on an audio. Even 5 minutes added up over a whole day. I stopped seeing little breaks as empty time. I began seeing them as chances to practice. One habit that assisted me was listening to the same audio many times. I didn't always choose something new. Sometimes I listened to the same short episode 3 or 4 times. The first time I caught the general meaning. The second time I noticed more details. The third time words and phrases felt very familiar. Repetition made everything clearer and powerfuler in my memory. I also began taking notes on useful phrases. When I heard an expression I liked, I wrote it down. Not the definition, just the phrase and the sentence around it. For example, I totally agree or that makes sense. These came from real conversations, not textbooks. They felt natural to say. Later I used them when speaking with people. Repeating sentences aloud was another significant part of my routine. After hearing a sentence I liked, I paused the audio. Then I said it myself, trying to copy the sound. I didn't worry about being perfect. I just tried to feel the rhythm and stress. This connected my ears to my mouth in a very direct way. The most significant thing was staying consistent each and every day. I didn't always have plenty of time. Some days I only listened for 15 minutes. But I never skipped a day completely. Showing up each and every day, even briefly, made a large difference. My brain kept receiving English input without long gaps. It never had time to forget or go cold. Daily practice works much improved than one long session per week. 2 hours on Sunday and nothing else isn't effective. But 30 minutes every single day builds real habit and real progress. Your brain prefers little and steady over large and rare. Think of it like watering a plant. A bit water each and every day keeps it alive and growing. Too much water once a week and it struggles. Build your routine around your real life. Use the little moments you already have. Stay consistent and keep it enjoyable. That's the secret to making daily listening work. 2-2, you said. Part 7. Lesson 7. Listen first, then speak. A great many folks try to speak before they're ready. They jump into conversations too early. Then they get confused and lose confidence. There's an improved way. It's simple and it works very well. Listen first, then speak. Here are the steps I follow each and every day. Step 1. Listen carefully. Choose a short audio or video in English. It can be a podcast, a YouTube video, or a short dialogue. Make sure it's not too challenging. Put away distractions and just listen from begin to complete. Don't stop to look up words. Don't try to understand everything right away. Just let the English come in. Step 2. Understand the main idea. After listening, ask yourself one question. What was this about? You don't need to understand every single word. You just need the general meaning. Maybe it was about someone's morning routine. Maybe it was about giving directions. That's enough for now. Getting the main idea is already a large success. Step 3. Listen again. Play the audio one more time. This time, notice more details. You will catch words you missed before. Sentences that were unclear will begin to make sense. Listening twice is much more powerful than listening once. Your brain fills in the gaps on the second round. Some people listen 3 or even 4 times. Each time a bit more becomes clear. Step 4. Repeat key sentences. Find 1 or 2 sentences you found useful. Pause the audio right after you hear them. Say them out loud gradually at first. Then say them again a bit quicker. Try to copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and stress. Don't just read the words. Feel how the sentence sounds and flows. This step connects your ears to your voice. Step 5. Practice speaking. Now try to talk about what you heard. Use simple words to explain the main idea. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak freely and naturally. You can talk to yourself, to a friend, or record your voice. The goal is to use the language, not to be perfect. You're building speaking confidence step by step. Step 6. Use new phrases in daily life. Pick 1 or 2 expressions you heard in the audio. Try to use them in a real situation that day. For example, if you heard "I'm not sure, but I think," try saying it to someone, or write it in a message. Using new phrases quickly assists your brain remember them much longer. Why does this method work so well? Because it follows the natural order of language learning. You receive the language first, then you produce it. You build understanding before you build speaking. This reduces stress and builds real confidence over time. Here is an everyday example. You watch a short video about ordering food at a restaurant. You listen once, then again. You repeat sentences like, "Can I have the menu, please, and what do you recommend?" You practice saying them out loud. The next day, you use one of those phrases in a real conversation. That phrase now belongs to you. This is how language becomes a part of who you're. Listen first, then speak. Follow the steps and trust the process. Lesson 8. Common listening mistakes you should avoid. Learning by listening is very powerful, but some habits can gradually you down without you even knowing. Here are 7 common mistakes and how to fix each one. Mistake 1. Listening only once. Many learners play an audio one time and then move on. But one listen is rarely enough. Your brain needs more time to absorb what it hears. The second or third time, you catch things you missed before. Fix. Listen to the same audio at least 2 or 3 times before changing it. Give your brain the time it needs. Mistake 2. Choosing content that's too challenging. Some people think hard content means improved learning. They pick quick native podcasts or complex TV shows. But when you understand almost nothing, very little goes in. Your brain gets tired and gives up quickly. Fix. Choose content where you understand around 80 to 90%. It should feel a bit challenging, but mostly clear. That's the zone where real progress happens. Mistake 3. Stopping at every unknown word. Some learners pause the audio every time they hear an unfamiliar word. They open a dictionary and look it up immediately. This breaks the flow completely. You lose the rhythm and the meaning of the whole passage. Fix. Keep listening even when you don't know a word. Try to guess its meaning from the context around it. Unknown words become clear over time through repeated exposure. Mistake 4. Not repeating audio. Moving on to new content all the time feels exciting. But variety without repetition doesn't build deep understanding. Hearing the same material again isn't boring. It's how your brain stores language permanently. Fix. Revisit your favorite audios regularly. Repetition turns passive understanding into confident knowledge. Mistake 5. Ignoring pronunciation. Some learners focus only on understanding the words. They forget to pay attention to how those words actually sound. This causes problems later when they try to speak. They say words in ways that native speakers struggle to understand. Fix. While listening, notice the sounds, stress, and rhythm carefully. Try to copy short phrases after you hear them. Your ears and mouth need to work as a team. Mistake 6. Never speaking after listening. Listening alone isn't enough if you never use what you hear. Some learners consume hours of English but never open their mouths. Output is just as significant as input. Fix. After every listening session, say something out loud. Summarize what you heard. Repeat a sentence you liked. Even 1 minute of speaking practice makes a difference. Mistake 7. Expecting quick results. This is perhaps the most damaging mistake of all. Many learners feel discouraged after just several weeks. They think listening isn't working because progress feels invisible. But language learning is gradual and steady by nature. The results are happening inside your brain quietly. Fix. Trust the process and stay patient. Keep a simple journal to notice little improvements over time. Progress is always there if you look carefully. Avoiding these 7 mistakes won't just save you time. It will make every listening session more valuable and more enjoyable. Great habits build quick results. Begin fixing these today. Lesson 9. A 30-day listening challenge for you. This challenge is simple. You don't need special tools or money. You just need 30 days and a bit commitment. Let's begin. Week 1. Listen for 10 minutes each and every day. The first week is about building the habit. Don't worry about understanding everything. Listen to simple English for 10 minutes each day. A short podcast, a YouTube video, or a beginner audio lesson. Choose something you enjoy. What matters is showing up every single day. 10 minutes feels little, but it adds up. By the end of week 1, listening will feel more natural. Week 2. Repeat short sentences. Now go one step further. After listening, choose 2 or 3 sentences you liked. Pause the audio and say them out loud. Don't just read them from the screen. Listen first, then speak. Try to copy the sound as closely as you can. Your mouth will feel more comfortable with English sounds. Week 3. Practice shadowing. Shadowing means speaking along with the audio. Choose a gradual and clear recording. Say the words just after you hear them. At first, it feels strange and challenging. That's completely normal. Keep going anyway. Shadowing trains your brain and mouth to work together. It also improves your rhythm and flow. By the end of this week, you want this real change. Week 4. Use new expressions while speaking each and every day this week. Pick one phrase from your listening. Find a chance to use it in real life. Say it to a friend, write it in a message, or practice alone. This is how vocabulary moves from your head into daily life. How to track your progress. Keep a little notebook or use your phone. Write the date, what you listened to, and one phrase you learned. After 30 days, read back through your notes. You will be surprised how much you collected. Seeing your progress on paper is very motivating. How to stay motivated. Don't aim for perfect days. Aim for consistent days. If you miss one day, begin again the next morning without guilt. Remember why you began. Every little session moves you forward, building a lifelong habit. After 30 days, you won't want to stop. Listening to English will feel normal and enjoyable. A daily habit kept for life brings incredible results. Begin today. Your future self will thank you. You have come a long way in this book. Let's look back at what you learned. The main lesson is this. Listening is the foundation of speaking. Before you can speak well, you must hear a lot. This is how babies learn. This is how all humans learn language naturally. And it works for you, too. Listening improves your understanding. The more you listen, the more English makes sense. Words become familiar. Sentences become clear. Conversation stops feeling like noise. Listening also improves your pronunciation. Your ears teach your mouth how sounds work. You learn rhythm, stress, and connected speech just by hearing them. No textbook can give you that. Only real listening can. And listening builds your confidence. When you understand more, you feel less afraid. You feel ready to speak. You feel ready to try. That feeling is very powerful. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It grows step by step, day by day. Every minute of listening is one more step forward. Every sentence you repeat is progress. Every new phrase you use is a little victory. You don't need perfect English to communicate. Nobody speaks a perfect language. What you need is the courage to keep going. What you need is consistency. Show up each and every day, even for several minutes. Listen to something simple and enjoyable. Repeat what you hear. Use what you learn. That's enough. So, begin today, not tomorrow, not after you feel more ready. Today is the right day. You already have everything you need. Now, go listen. Your English journey is just getting begun.